What's going on, everybody? This is Passion for Truth coming at you with another video. Today we're going to break down NASA. We're going to break down NASA. Why is it the Globers don't want to talk about NASA? And by the way, in reference to our video today, in support of our video today, I'm wearing my lunar module, or is it a homeless tweaker shelter shirt? Ha! Just for shits and giggles. Thought it would be pretty fitting for the video today. But why isn't it that Globers, why is it that Globers don't want to talk about NASA? Could it possibly be because we have overwhelming evidence of NASA fraud? And it's out there in the interwebs, and even the Globers have seen all this stuff and they've come to the realization that NASA's lying. But they still want to cling to their spinning ball. They still want to cling to photos of Earth from space, and they want to cling to everything about the cosmos that NASA has brought us for some reason. And I think it's because it's like that one thing in life that people feel, is the last thing that they can hold on to. It's that one solid, like, concrete foundation, I guess, that people feel like they just have to cling to. Because at this point it's kind of sad. We have pointed out the fraud of NASA so many times, showing astronauts on wires and harnesses, and we've shown the green screen glitches, augmented reality mishaps, bubbles coming out of helmets on spacewalks, astronauts wearing thumbless and fingerless gloves, the Earth in the ISS live feeds glitching out, women's hairspray, for crying out loud. We can literally debunk everything NASA just on women's hairspray. Just on, like, the amount of hairspray they put in their hair to make their hair stand up to try to fake zero gravity. How many times have we seen astronauts trying to do flips and get all caught up in their wires and try to do some kind of circus act to try to fake it and play it off? Over and over and over again. There's so much information. That's the power of the internet, right? The hive mind of the internet's going to figure shit out. And we've done that. And Globers just can't talk about it anymore. That's why I always like bringing up, like, the moon landing hoax and NASA, because they literally don't have a leg to stand on. But it really is the foundation of their belief. If you believe in a heliocentric model, like, you have to try some way, shape, or form to cling to NASA and all these other space agencies. Because if you don't, it literally tears your whole religion apart. And I said this many times, I don't have enough faith. I don't have enough faith to believe in the heliocentric religion anymore. I'm going to break down some things, right? Because other than all the things I just said, I just want to hone in on a couple things, and I'm going to try to keep this video shorter. I know I get long-winded and I can talk for a long time, but I'm really going to try to keep this video a little shorter than my normal ones. I just want to talk about rocket launches in general, right? And then maybe I'll talk about photos of Earth from space and just blow that one out of the water too. But this right here, rocket launches, completely and utterly just dismantle everything about NASA and everything about fake space. If you're thinking with your head and you're not clinging to a religion, okay? Because that's what it is at this point for you. It's a religion. Some of the smartest people I know believe in all this stuff. They believe that we went to the moon. They believe in everything that NASA puts out. They believe in all these articles. Like, for instance, like, every Halloween, NASA puts out like an image of the sun that looks like a jack-o'-lantern, or an image of a damn asteroid that looks like a jack-o'-lantern on Halloween. They do it almost every year, and people haven't caught on to the fact that they're doing this every year. It's just a coincidence. Come on, guys. I mean, there's articles that are coming out talking about, like, Uranus farting on Neptune. They're putting it in your face and you're still not seeing it. They're giving you all the clues, and you still don't see it. But let's dive away from that. Let's get into rocket launches, okay? And let's just totally dismantle everything NASA. Rocket launches. I have personally been to a couple rocket launches when I was a kid, and I watched it live in person, so I can actually vouch to what I've seen with my own two eyes. And now I can, with the information that I've received and I've gotten over the last 5 years, I can put two and two together, right? And that's what I want you to do. I want you to think critically about this. You can Google this, nasa.gov. How fast does a rocket have to go in order to reach orbital speed? In order to get out there and get into orbit around the Earth, nasa.gov will tell you that a rocket has to reach 25,000 miles per hour. 25,000 miles per hour, guys. And they also admit that this is one of their biggest challenges. But hey, we did it when we went to the moon, damn it. How come we can't do it today? Because we never did it. It was all done on a Hollywood stage. Common sense. But let's think about this. 25,000 miles per hour, if you need kilometers, it works out to be like 7 kilometers a second. 7 kilometers a second. Okay, let's break that down. Here's what I want you to do next. I want you to Google, how fast does a bullet fly? How fast is a speeding bullet? What Google's going to tell you is on average is about 1,700 miles an hour. So now let's do some math. 25,000 miles an hour divided by 1,700 gives you 14.7. That means that a space shuttle has to be going 14.7 times faster than a speeding bullet in order to reach orbital speed. I'm done. I don't need to go any further. That's it. Tapping out, man. Tapping out. That's it. Game over. 14.7 times faster than a speeding bullet? Have you ever watched a rocket launch and seen how slow they are? You know why they're that slow? Because the whole fuselage on the damn thing is made of a damn balloon. And it's hard to freaking lift a heavy-ass balloon off the ground and not look awkward. Guys, if you don't believe me, look into this stuff. Look into the space shuttle bounce. Dave Weiss has a really good video on the space shuttle bounce. A space shuttle supposedly weighs like 4.5 million pounds. 4.5 million pounds or some crazy crap like that. Now, does 4.5 million pounds, would that, like, whenever it starts to lift off, is that going to bounce some? Or is it going to take a shitload of thrust and it's going to lift that damn rocket up and it's not going to bounce? It's going to go, if it is able to lift 4.5 million pounds up, it's not going to lift it up and then let it back down slowly and then lift it up again. It's going to either lift it up or it's not if it's 4.5 million pounds, guys. But 25,000 miles an hour, 14.7 times faster than a speeding bullet. Have you ever seen a speeding bullet? Have you ever watched an amateur rocket launch, for crying out loud? Do a side-by-side comparison. Amateur rocket launch versus NASA space rocket launch. Look how much faster the amateur rocket's going. And I'm here to tell you, an amateur rocket is not doing nowhere near 25,000 miles an hour. So there's no way, according to their science, that an amateur rocket could ever reach orbital speed either. And we haven't even gotten into like the aerodynamics of this space rocket. Look at a damn SR-71A Blackbird. Look how precise it is. Look at the edges on it. Look how aerodynamic it is and how it could pierce through the atmosphere. It's literally like a knife cutting through the atmosphere. Top speed of an SR-71 is about 2,300 miles an hour. And at that speed, it literally starts to break down, like paint starts to come off of it and shit. You're going to sit here and tell me that the space shuttle and all its aerodynamic balloon capabilities is going to even come close to reaching what an SR-71 is? Not a snowball's chance, guys. This is common sense. This is common sense. I don't really need to go any further. Space launches debunk everything NASA. And furthermore, whenever you watch a rocket launch, you'll see that it does a parabolic and goes downwards. Watch a time lapse of a space shuttle launch and it goes up and starts to do a parabolic and come back down. Now, they'll try to tell you that they're going horizontal and they're reaching enough speed to get into that orbital, that orbit. They're trying to get into Earth's orbit, and they got to reach that speed. Doing horizontal, guys. This is flying the same way, horizontally, flying the same way that an SR-71 would fly. And you're going to tell me that that sucker's not going to blow apart at 25,000 miles an hour? You have got to be absolutely batshit crazy. Ain't happening. So that whole thing is completely debunked. And you can watch these videos. You'll see during these videos, well, they'll show that there's an altitude indicator on the screen, and it's trying to show you how high the space shuttle is. And you'll see that the shuttle is actually going horizontal, and it actually starts to go downwards, and they're still showing the altitude indicator like it's going up, because they're trying to make you think that it's climbing in altitude, but your senses will sit there and tell you the otherwise. That rocket's no longer going up, but the altitude indicator that they put on the screen, think about how easy it is to fake this shit. How easy it is to fool you. No, it's easier to convince it's easy to fool somebody. It's harder to convince them that they've been fooled. And you've been fooled, my friends. You have been fooled. If you start thinking about this stuff logically, you'll put the pieces of the puzzle together. So now that we've completely debunked NASA, now how about those photos of Earth from space? How do they get those photos? Well, probably high altitude balloons. NASA's the #1 consumer of helium. They admit it. You can Google it. They put all their satellites on balloons. Balloons, people. Balloons. That's how they're getting all these pictures. And that's why NASA, if you look up a guy named Robert Simon, that's why. So what they have to do is they have to get strips of data at a time. They can't get high enough to see the whole Earth. It's an impossibility. They can't do it, guys. They've never been able to do it. So they have to take strips of data and put them together, and that's how they create these images. And you can go and you can Google photos of Earth from space and see that they are images. They actually have them in small print underneath these images. It actually says the word image. Notice that it doesn't say photo. It can't say photo because a photo is unmanipulated. So in other words, I could take a picture of this tree right here in front of me, and if I don't edit it or put it in Photoshop, that's an actual photo. But if I take a picture of it and then put it in Photoshop and do all kind of funny things to it, that's now considered an image legally. So that's why all these photos are actually called images, and that's why NASA has to admit that they are images, that they are Photoshop, because they have to be. It's admitted. The only people who believe that photos of Earth from space are real photos of Earth from space are globers and anti-flat earthers, because even NASA tells us that they're not. Okay? So, this thing's approaching 15 minutes, and I wanted it to even be shorter than that, but I just wanted to come on and do a little NASA rant in honor of the Lunar Lander module today, and just completely obliterate everything NASA. I know that there's going to be people spiraling in the video. I know that people got answers, bullshit ass answers to this. But I hope that if you're just an open-minded person, you start thinking about this stuff critically and understand that you've been lied to. Case closed. This is Passion for Truth. See you guys on the next video. Peace!